guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Karen and welcome to Our Irish Family. So today's video I wanted to talk to you about having PCOS after giving birth. So if you are a long-time follower of my channel, you will know that we suffered infertility for 2.5 years. It was PCOS, and we also had like low sperm motilium and low sperm count, and we conceived by IUI in June of 2015. In March 2016, I gave birth to our daughter, so she is 1 on the 22nd of March, and since then I have been experiencing pretty much the same symptoms as I had pre-pregnancy. So if you search the internet for PCOS after pregnancy or after birth or whatever, you will find that a lot of women say that their symptoms have reduced drastically after giving birth. Their periods go back to normal, they don't have the unwanted hair, their hair loss isn't so bad, and so on. Unfortunately for me, that's not what happened. For the first 4 months, I was thinking to myself, this is great, you know, like I don't have the hair loss, my face hair isn't really growing back, and I was thinking I was in the clear, you know, but unfortunately it was not to be. I'm just going to run through the symptoms I have had since giving birth and how they have affected me. So the first one obviously is the postpartum hair loss. Everybody gets that after giving birth, but for me, I felt like my hair was really, I was gonna go bald. In fact, I went to a hairdresser. My sister's a hairdresser, and every now and again I have to be like a model for her because she's in training, and the qualified hairdressers and like specialists in like one day we went to a specialist in hair thinning, and you know, she was asking me a whole lot of questions about, you know, my hair and how I noticed it falling out and blah 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 blah. And I did say to her, like, you know, it has been, I think it was 5 months since I gave birth, and you know, obviously I was expecting postpartum hair loss, and she did say that while the postpartum hair loss is here at the front, and it definitely was, like you can kind of see here, there's like patches where it hasn't grown or where it kind of fell out. Now, not so bad compared to some people, but she did say that a lot of my thinning is happening at the top of my head, which is true to hair thinning, like male pattern hair thinning, if you know what I mean, and that is a key symptom to PCOS. So she said, like, she checked my hair, they had this like microscope thing. It was a mental day, and she said that I have natural hair thinning, as in it's not caused by me having a baby. She said that it will always happen because it's a hormonal thing, and my hair is thin pretty much all over my head. Like, it doesn't take much to see through to my scalp, you know. So that was definitely one. Like, now it doesn't fall out so much, but now that it's coming back into the summer, it's starting to fall out more. But the postpartum hair loss, there was clumps, like proper clumps in my hand. When I used to run my hand through my hair, there was clumps of hair in my hand, and thankfully that has stopped, and it's just like a couple compared, like it's probably more than normal for normal people, but it's just a couple for me, you know. So yeah, that was my kind of first indicator that maybe the PCOS is coming back. The second thing was my blemishes on my skin. Now, I have been getting them since I was a teenager. My late teens really is when I started getting them. Around 16, 17, I started getting blemishes on my skin. And they're predominantly just kind of around my mouth and chin. And I know you can look up certain things and it will tell you if you're lacking in things or what sort of organ is failing for those sorts of things. But it's been happening for a long time anyways. And yeah, I noticed that they were coming back. They were predominant, and they were like the big boily ones, you know, they're like under the skin, and if you press it, it hurts. It was those ones. So that was the second kind of indicator that things weren't really coming back to normal. I already touched on my hair thinning during the postpartum thing. So my hair has been thinning at the top, and which is obviously a sign of PCOS. Unwanted hair in places that you don't want it to be. So I have a lot of chin hair, like from here upwards I'd have a lot of dark chin hair. I always kind of had it the last, I say, year before I got pregnant. It was there more, but since I gave birth it seems to have grown a lot. Now it's not like a beard but you would notice it, you know, like there's like always kind of clumps here, there's like clumps down over here, and there's clumps on this side. So it is something that I have to take care of because I don't want it to be there and I don't want people to see it, you know. Also I always kind of had a little like mustache going on, but it hasn't been so bad since I got pregnant, or since I had a baby. And since I got pregnant, I kind of stopped growing, and then it hasn't really grown too much since then. It's not dark, you know, it's just kind of that fair hair. And then hair on my chest. So on my chest, like kind of like my boobs, I suppose, there's been hair, like nipple hair and that sort of stuff. And since I have given birth, it seems to kind of have doubled a bit. So that hasn't been great because it just involves removing more hair that you don't want it to be there, and you don't want to remove it, god damn it. And finally, periods. So I know obviously having a baby can mess with your periods, you know. So generally for most people within 2 to 3 cycles you're back to normal, you know. Even if sometimes the first cycle your body just seems to regulate itself and it goes back to your 28-day cycle. I've never had a 28-day cycle. When I was on my fertility medication and metformin, I was having kind of like 35 to 42 day cycle. So that was my normal. So I got my first period on August the 4th after having Ava, and that cycle was 34 days. So I was thinking to myself, wow, this is amazing. You know, 34 days is nothing compared to, I used to have like 100 days, like 150 days. It used to go on for years, my period, my cycle. The next one I got was September the 7th, and that cycle was 41 days. Next one was October 18th, which was 59 days long. Then I had December the 16th, which was 70 days long. And then February 24, which is my current cycle. I'm currently on cycle day 13. So you can see there was 34, 41, 59 and 70 day cycles. So definitely back to normal on the PCOS irregulation with my periods. It's just a pain more than anything, you know. It's not that we're trying to have another baby, we're not. It's just a pain. You want your period to come every month, so you know that's gonna come every month. You can plan for it, you can, you know, I just want to be normal, you know. So that really is today's video, to let you know that my PCOS hasn't gone away. It's still there, it's still lurking, and it probably will never ever go away. As I said, we're not TTC, we're not trying to conceive a baby. I don't know if we will be, but I assume we're gonna have to go down the same road as we had Ava, as we did to get Ava, whenever or if we ever decide to have a second baby. So that is today's video. Let me know if you have PCOS and if how it's going for you. You know, what's your biggest worry with it? If you have had a baby, let me know if your symptoms have reduced, if they have increased, you know. So thanks so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you like it, give it a big old thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye.